respected Chair and CNI President, Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Energy, YCNC President, members of Constitutional Assembly, Excellencies, high-ranking government officials, delegates, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Nepal Infrastructure Summit 2014. What a historic event, with so much of enthusiasm and overwhelming participation. Now, I would like to quickly present the summary of the issues discussed during the last 2 days. As our Chief Secretary just said, I'll be very brief, and it'll be in the bullets. Basically, we focused our entire summit on all 5 infrastructure sectors: transportation, energy, urban, tourism, and agriculture. But we have focused our discussion on the cross-cutting issues of all the infrastructure sector: outlook and opportunities, sustainable development for growth, investment climate, infrastructure financing mechanisms, and enabling policy initiatives. And on the side, we had 4 parallel sessions: air transport infrastructure, green infrastructure for biodiversity conservation, private sector investment in air transport infrastructure, sectoral reform, post-PDA and PTA, and investment decisions issues in our urban infrastructure. We had reached to a general agreement on the following issues. Evidence suggests that opportunities exist in Nepal in the field of infrastructure development. Physical infrastructure service drives socio-economic development. Hydropower and rural transportation are the major sectors. There is a huge funding gap for infrastructure development. It is widening the call for private sector participation. Sustainability of infrastructure is an issue. Need for review of relevant laws and policies, regulatory reforms, and institutional reforms. Other important infrastructure projects, such as upgradation of TIA and development of SIA through PPP, should also be given due preference. We also had views from the government. Government is all aware of the prevailing situation regarding investment in physical infrastructure. Reform process already initiated. Shortcomings being identified, legal instruments being reviewed, issues for power shortages being resolved within the next 3 years, PDA framework developed and approved. Basis for power exchange signed, mega infrastructure projects marketing in progress, efforts towards changing mindset, changing the role, control, hierarchy to facilitator. Local bond in place, formation of separate organizations and institutions to carry out specialized functions like infrastructure financing institution, separate transmission company. And from the private sector, there's a need for conducive environment for infrastructure investment, project clearance and implementation process, timely budget allocation, social and environmental clearance, transparent tendering process with clarity, strengthening domestic banking sector reform, clarity on roles and deliverables of the private sector, and proper risk allocation. And the way forward: clarity on definition of infrastructure, institutional accountability and responsibility, entrepreneurship, innovation, and creativity, widening of lending framework, creation of project bank, and policy on viability gap funding. So these are the key issues that we need to address in the future. And we have some post-summit activities. As our chair has mentioned, we will publish the proceeding of the summit in due course, and we establish infrastructure cell within CNI with the participation of all our stakeholders for continuous follow-up. And we wish to collaborate with all the partners and stakeholders for enhanced patronage. And with this, I conclude my remarks. Thank you very much.